Kate, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I am so excited. So, can you please just introduce yourself before we get into this juicy chat?
Oh, sure. So I'm Kate. I'm 36. I'm from Albury, New South Wales in Australia. And I'm a primary school teacher by training. I've been a teacher now for the last 12, 13 years. And in the last couple of years, I've now delved into doing some coaching work. I've trained in a health coaching role and a Hungry for Happiness coaching role, but still continue to teach. So I love to learn, I love to grow. I'm at that stage where I want more in my life.
Yeah, so epic. So, listen, there's just so much. Kate has literally just graduated from Soul to Soul. I like to always, showcase different chats. Some people have been out of Soul to Soul for 6 months and they'll come and do a testimonial. Kate is literally fresh off the press, fresh off the boat. I saw a beautiful white butterfly fly past when I said that, which is very
simple. Yes.
So let's go back, Kate, to where you were. I remember the call. Just you might need to close your eyes, whatever you need to do, because I know there's just been so much change and up leveling. It's kind of probably going to be foreign for you to go back there. But if you could just drop into where you were, how you were feeling, what wasn't working when you reached out and had that first call with me. Just speak from that place.
Yeah, so I just had no idea who I was. I had, so many masks that I wore in so many different relationships that I just was exhausted. And I'd started to coach one client and I just felt completely, out of alignment. I got off a call with her one day, giving her some relationship advice, and I felt sick. I just looked at myself in the mirror and thought, how can I do this if I myself am not taking my own advice? And that was really just that pivotal moment where I went, what am I doing? I'm 36. I'm repeating the same thing over and over. I have great goals. I have great dreams, but I'm not moving forward. And I had no feelings. I just was numb. I used, things in my external life to feel better about myself. If it was shopping, if it was food, if it was some type of attention from men, but it was never lasting. And in the last 18 months, I just became a shell of a person. I hid away. I didn't want people to see me because I wanted to be this phenomenal, inspiring, motivating person because I know I have that inside of me and she would come out, but I was so fearful of her, and I couldn't stay in that power or stay in my my queen essence, as I've now learned. And I just remember getting on the call with you and I had been crying for days. There was one live that I watched of yours that just truly just cracked open my heart about I'm not afraid of being alone. I'm afraid of getting what I want. And it just hit me. I was like, I'm not afraid of being alone. I've been alone for so long. I think
How long had it been?
12, 13 years that I've been single. Obviously I've had some connections, but not relationships.
I actually just want to speak to that. Everything you're saying is gold. It's often women like yourself that come to me that have been single for a long block of time, whether it's, 4 years, anything up to 12, 13, 14, 15 years, that is so in the energy of just coping and like, this is just how it is and it's fine, without actually connecting with the gravitas of how aligned you've been with staying safe. Yeah. That's what you're aligned with and you're just used to it. And I know on that call, I was like, Kate, I want you just, before we go to the next question, to just connect with, that's a long time.
And I think for so long, I'd just been saying, about 10 years, just about 10 years. And I wasn't like, I didn't want to face the truth that it had now been 11, 12, it could be 13. Like I'm not even thinking about that now because it's irrelevant, but it could be. And I've, exactly like you said, just wanted to stay safe. Like I had so many walls up, I had so many protectors. I just had all these lines, I remember you calling me out on a bluff where I just I said, I love being single. And you're just like, and that little girly high pitched voice that you made, that giggle, that's bullshit. Like, that's not the truth. And I just went, oh, okay. She sees me. She calls me on my bluff. And it was so true. I'd had to make up these little, fibs and lies to make sure that I looked okay to people on the outside. I didn't want people to see me for what was really going on, because I was always that person that brought so much energy and light to others, and I lifted them up, but I was failing at lifting myself up and getting what I truly wanted.
Yes. And I know this segues beautifully into, I know you shared with me that there was a reason you weren't getting support.
Yeah.
There was a reason you weren't being vulnerable. Why was that?
I was just afraid. I was just so afraid of being rejected, of people, truly seeing me for who I am. And I just didn't, like I said, I didn't know who I was. And I was all in the masculine. I wanted to help me. I didn't want anybody else's help. I was just so determined. Like, I'd learned all these skills. I'd, studied so many different courses. I'd ticked so many boxes, and I had the knowledge, but I hadn't let that, come into my heart. And I was stubborn. Like, I wouldn't have even used that word, but I was stubborn.
Stubborn, but there was something deeper you shared with me, which was you felt that it was weak, that you would be.
I can't even remember that. Like, isn't that amazing? Like,
yeah, I know. It's like it comes back to mother stuff. And you felt that it was weak, that you couldn't get yourself to this place, which I know so many of you watching this feel that. I felt that. I know when you're watching this, you're like, yeah, because we do in so many other ways. We are able to take care of things, whether that's, doing stuff like university, we're able to learn and study and on our own. But when it comes to the heart, we're not, because if we were, there wouldn't be all the chaos that there is in the world. There wouldn't be depression. There wouldn't be anxiety. There wouldn't be people that are single missing out on love if we were able to get ourselves there. It's stuff that goes back to when we were small. It's all conditioned. But the thing that you discovered is that this was inherited.
Yeah, I was just trying to prove my worth. And it wasn't working, but I still continued to just believe that that's what I had to do. The next thing would save me. The next course would bring me out of my feeling of stuck. Being stuck.
So this is beautiful then. So then why was Soul to Soul so profound for you? Why was it different to what you'd already done?
Because I just, like, it's so hard to explain, but I connected with myself. I felt into my heart space. I let those walls come down. Like, for one, I chose myself. And I was just sharing this on my 8-week wrap-up call, that I've never chosen myself the way I've chosen myself in Soul to Soul. Like, it has been the biggest investment, like financially, obviously time, energy, all that kind of thing. And it really scared me at the start. I know if people have seen my life, that I wanted to, I had to justify like why I was investing in myself. I felt like I had to go and tell people, because I always seeked approval, was like, is the right thing that I was doing. But like, as soon as I made that decision, it was like just this release. It was like my heart was ready to feel. And I think even in the first couple of days, I got on and did lives. I went, girls, I'm feeling these emotions that I've never felt before. And that's what Soul to Soul was. It was just me getting out of my head, because like the old Kate was just stuck in her head. She was all about do, hustle, live in the masculine. I don't need anybody's help. Like I said, I'm determined, I'm stubborn to do it on my own. I don't want to be a damsel in distress. I don't want to be seen, like you said, as weak. And for Soul to Soul, it wasn't about that. It was really just holding space. It was about connecting with women who were exactly, similar to experiencing exactly what I was experiencing. And the sharing and the support and, being able to be vulnerable. Like, I've never had an environment where I've been able to be vulnerable like that before. Like, I feel like I open up with my friends and my family, but only to a certain point. Whereas in the Vortex, the program just allowed me to just like, I could feel my shoulders just releasing. I was just so safe, so felt, so heard. And, within 2 weeks, my energy, like, I can remember looking at my face in my lives or rewatching the lives and just saying like, what is that? like who is that? And I just got so excited. I'm like, that's me. And yeah. And just obviously the support from the coaches and from the other queens, I just stayed in that energy. I was no longer fearful of being that person, being my true authentic self. Like, yeah.
Yeah, you really did, Kate. You know, you went through the motions, which are very normal. We just had, you know, some beautiful queens just join over the weekend, and you know, it's that, oh, I've never invested, you know, in myself. And just so you know, girls, it's not like an investment that you can't afford. It's priced so that everyone that's committed can afford it. It's priced so that you are out of your comfort zone and you are feeling it. Otherwise, you're not going to go and change over 30 years of conditioning. I have too many women coming to me that have spent thousands upon thousands on different programs with no fucking outcome. And here, there's a very high caliber of women that I invite in, and it is not determined by your bank account, it's determined by your attitude. And that's why what Kate's saying is she felt so heard, seen, supported, was because the women in there, it's like a silent code that people know that anyone coming in is going to bring it. And
Really,
that's why there is such a high level of transformation, is the bar is really high. We don't let you off the hook. We're not there to have people come in just dumping and being in victimhood. Yeah, you might start out there for a second, but then we're off to the races, going down the dream highway and building out this new queen identity to step into. And this is why, Kate, by you investing in yourself, not in the program, in yourself, saying to the universe, I'm worth this and more,
so much more.
Already a huge up level just with your money story, just with observability.
Phenomenal. Like, I remember saying to you, like, you know, I want to, you know, renovate my house. That was where my finances were looking to go. And, you know, again, you said, but that's your house. Like, if you don't get, you know, you heal yourself, reconnect with who you truly are, who are you going to want to invite into your house? And I just was like, you're so right, because I haven't done that in the last 18 months. I haven't had people over. This used to be the party house. This used to be the house of fun and, you know, having people over. And for the last 18 months, I was like, no, I don't want people to see me. I don't want people to be in my space. And even if I got my house right, it didn't mean that I'd get myself right. And that's when I was like, I have to do this. I have to invest. And it was the most, as much as it was the most, you know, that fur ball was stuck, it was the most freeing and liberating thing that I've ever done. And I remember getting on and sharing that in the group and just saying, like, I am so worth this, plus more. Like, and I don't have to justify this to anybody. I know with Mariana, she and I had that chat in, you know, week 0, that she's like, why do you feel like you have to justify? And I'm like, obviously
by the way, Mariana's one of our coaches, just so that.
Yeah. She, you know, said you don't have to justify and you don't have to come up with all these reasons. It's just because you choose you. And I was like, you're so right. I don't have to, there's just no more justification in my life for anything. Like, and I would invest in myself this plus triple plus, you know, quadruple again and again, 10 times over.
Expanded worth. And that is why now it's going to be inevitable that this man's going to come in who's going to invest in you. And I don't mean financially, I mean with his time, his love, support, because you're set up now, that new energetic frequency around you. You've birthed into your cells the energy of, you know, I'm worth it, and I expect to receive. It's a very, very, very powerful up level that you got for yourself by choosing you. And
that belief just went, out the window.
That's so cool that you shared that, because that is a fear for people. And, you know, for those of you that want to get a, you know, free support or cheap support, why would you gyp yourself like that? You know, this comes down to you valuing you. There are plenty of cheap programs out there. You know, I can give you the links, but they're not in integrity, because a lot of them are just do it yourself. And it's about, like, if we were able to do it ourselves, we would. A couple of videos without actually having the support and the accountability aren't going to do it. I don't personally finish those programs. I've enrolled myself in programs and I paid a couple of $1,000s. I got to like 3 modules in and I never finished it.
Yep. No, same. Same.
It's just because I need space held for me. We all need space held for us, and we deserve that. So, so much juice coming out for you. So what would you say one of the most powerful things was, that one of the biggest shifts that you received? I mean, looking at you right now, I'll tell you that one of them is moving out of the masculine into the feminine, for sure.
Yeah.
But what would it be for you that you're just sitting with going, this is what makes it different to other things you've tried? So internally, what's something you're feeling?
Just that, like I said before, that belief. Like, I know deep down to my core now who I am, what I stand for, and what I expect in my life. There is no, oh, I think I can have this, or I would like, or I'm going to try, like all that bull crap, yeah, little sentences that I would say. It just diminishes my worth. And I am just, oh, like I'm just radiating so much energy, but I know I am so freaking worthy of everything plus more. Like, and I expect it. Like,
Yes.
out there, I expect it, and it comes. And I've attracted so much abundance in my life in such a short amount of time because of that belief. Not because I've busted my guts, not because I've, gone out and, purchased like all these things and attracted it in that way. It's just, I set the intention, I felt into the feeling, I know I deserve this. I know it is mine. It is done. I've released it. I've surrendered. And I think that's probably one of the biggest things is that sense of surrender. Like I used to say, oh, I just surrendered to the universe, just a little tagline, but I never really got rid of that attachment. Like I always had an attachment and expectation, and I can see myself having exactly what I want, plus more, this or something better. Like, and it just keeps going and going and going.
Love it. So I'm hearing a couple of things here. You now back Kate fully. You love her. You believe in her.
Pretty much.
You've gotten out of this trying to do life on your own, and now you're working with the universe.
Yes.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah. And I just, my soulmate is there. Like it's even to say those words, my body like radiates joy and love, and I get all like warm and fuzzy just knowing that he's there, and he will be coming into my vortex. It's just, I have to, when I want it, he will be there, and I know that I'm just, I think, finishing Soul to Soul only 2 days ago. I've been living like the biggest smile on my face. I've been having so much fun going in, like, the last 3 days we've had a long weekend here in Australia, and for 3 days straight I've been just surrounded by people. I've gone to like houses and had meetings with like my gym employees. I've connected with like guys I've gone for walks. I've, had barbecues, like just, and I'm just feeling so, full and complete. Whereas the old Kate would be like, oh, I need to go home. I need to rest. I need to fill up my love, my self-love. I need to take self-care. This is my new way of caring for myself, being surrounded by, amazing people, and knowing that I can have it all. I don't have to have separate, it's all integrated together now. This is me.
And what I'm hearing is that before you were hiding and you were feeling inadequate.
Yes. Completely, because I had to put on a mask.
Yeah.
I had to like put on this mask, be someone I wasn't, and my energy would rise as I was around people, but I'd get to a point where I was like, oh, like this is exhausting. I needed to go home and hide and get my reserves back up.
Yes.
And I don't need that now.
That's because you're working so hard to be this version of yourself that you weren't.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you were obviously feeling like left behind. I remember you telling me that on the call, like your friends are, in relationships, having babies, and you were feeling like you were left behind on this island with like population 1. And so it was taking a lot of your energy. And I know many of you will be watching this and feeling that. That was me too. I used to exert so much energy putting this version of myself out to the world so that I'd still be accepted. But internally, I was a hot mess. And it takes a lot of energy to not be congruent with just being who we are. So that's what I'm hearing is that before you were withdrawing and hiding, and now you're out in the world taking up space and just
so much space.
Yeah, not no inadequacy, just like, oh hi, I'm worthy.
Yeah, and like the little, what I'm saying, like, I've said so many times now, my soulmate's coming, he's here, and like for me, I would never have said that. It would have been like, oh, it'll happen when it's supposed to happen, and I'll live in this hope, but now it's that belief. I know he's there, and I know that my, goals in other areas of my life, like the connections I have with my family, like I think that's been such a goal. Like, we shouldn't have a goal to connect with our family. It just should happen, and it's a natural. But the quality time that I've been able to spend with my family, and my mum saying yesterday, you're just so much happier. Like I've noticed in you, you are just happy. And, my mum's not one to ask me how I'm going. She will always go, how's work? How's this? How's that? That's her way of connecting with me. And, I'm now having these authentic conversations where I turned to her and I said, Mum, I would like it if you actually asked how I was going. If you do notice how I'm feeling, or that my energy's off, I would love for you to ask, Kate, what's really going on? Because I want us to have that relationship. Whereas years ago, we couldn't get to that level. And when she said, I've noticed you want to spend time with us, you're happy, you're allowing us into your space, because for so long I pushed away. I didn't want them in my space. I didn't want them to see probably that I was suffering and that I was hurting and shame. Yeah. That I should be grateful. I have an amazing life. And I would say that to myself, I have an amazing life. All these things are wonderful, but deep down, I didn't love myself. I didn't think I was worthy enough to have a big, amazing, expansive life. It was like a pipe dream. And whereas now it is my life. It is coming, and I am totally 100% ready.
Oh my God, I'm so feeling this. And I know that those of you watching this will feel how palpable her energy is. There's just certainty. That is not how the call was 8 weeks ago, I can assure you girls. Kate had no idea. And this is how I'm always in shock, because it's my job to see someone's greatness. I don't look and go, oh, let me help you because you're so broken. That's so gross. And my team invite people into Soul to Soul because we can see your greatness, and we want to hold you to that and get you home to that stat so that you can get what you want in life. And I remember just going, this chick's a freaking powerhouse. She's got so much going for her. It's tragic for me seeing that you were in such suffering, and so many women are in such suffering. I was in such suffering. And it just takes, this is what the sisterhood is about. This is the collective energy where we're all part of this beautiful tapestry, and we all are part of each other's dreams and process. And that's why I'm seeing you just grow so quickly, because the minute you felt held and supported, Kate, and emotionally held, the little girls were just like, oh, this is different.
Yeah.
So, because, we won't go into on the call, but there was a lot of mother stuff there. There's a lot of needing to be a certain way. That has us stifle our expression. So what would you say, what do you want to say to, your beautiful soul sisters that are watching this, who are not feeling at home in their own skin? They're not where they want. What would you want to say to her right now? She's obviously got fear.
Yeah, just go for it. Like, this program is just phenomenal. It is life-changing. The moment, excuse me, that you choose yourself, it is so freeing. It is so liberating. And you think about 8 weeks, what can happen in 8 weeks? Like, I only have to go back and watch lives from week 1, and it is huge, the transformation. Like, on my call with Mariana before, she was talking about, she saw me as a leader, and I've had so many people in my life say that, like, you're such a leader, you're such, I get so much from you, but I didn't believe that myself. And it's like, you get advice from your best friends, you get advice from your family, and you're just like, oh yeah, thank you, but you don't believe it. I now believe that I am a phenomenal leader. And like, the lives that I was doing in the last 4 weeks of the group, I know I was so helping the other queens in that group. I was lifting them, and it was a two-way street, but I know that I owned myself. I owned my space. I have my coaching hat firmly planted on my head now. It's not just this thing that I put on and take off. It's like, I am a coach. And for women who want to do this, like, just jump on a call, find out more about it, but just invest in yourself, because if you don't invest in yourself and in your future, who will? Like, that was the biggest thing I just realized. I'm like, nobody's going to do this for me. Like, I've tried, I've been stubborn. I've invested money in so many different courses. I've sat, myself down for months on end, and I've tried to journal it out. I've tried to heal broken parts of myself, but it doesn't work, because you need to be surrounded with women who just lift you up, who see you for who you truly are as well, and will call you on your crap. Like, there's no hiding. There's no hiding. And that's the thing you need.
Yeah. And I think why you, with your nature as well, because you are naturally driven and hungry, and, you show up. So for you, if there wasn't a high caliber in there, that would have been really tough for you to be in that environment. If you were just people that weren't bringing it, that would have been really frustrating.
I would have gone quiet. I just would have gone quiet. I would have done what I had to do. Like, there's certain things that we have to do in the vortex each day to make sure we're showing up for ourselves. but it wouldn't have been the same, if that energy in the vortex wasn't how it was. Like, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, there's a certain frequency in there that is really high frequency, and it's an unwritten, unspoken thing that the minute you're in there, everyone that comes in, you'll see, you know, they just feel it. They call it the vortex of love, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So listen, Kate, I could keep talking to you all day because I am just so, first of all, so proud of you.
And I'm proud of me too.
For choosing you. And, you know, Kate's from Australia, so she could have easily said, well, it's, you know, if there's COVID right now, it's the Australian dollar's not good. She could have easily gone into that story. And it breaks my heart when I see people that do not follow through just because of the exchange rate or because of the current circumstance. There's always going to be something. But if you let the currency of your country that you're in or what's going on in the world stop you, you're giving your power away to something outside of you. And your life will change when you put your foot down and go, enough is enough. It starts now. And it's from you, you know, believing in the unseen that you did, Kate, that everyone does. They just feel it. They're like, I have to do this. And that was the first time that you actually put your heart.
That's the difference, isn't it?
And went, I don't know what this is. I just know that I need it. Whereas with you, boom, 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 calculate. That was a big turning point for you because I know part of you wanted to just eject and run.
Yeah. And huge. Yeah.
All the wheels turning, and I see it with so many women too, but I have no problem with it because
I did that in your free Facebook group. I was in there, but I wasn't watching any videos. And even something I realized was, you know, you triggered me, Lucy. You scared the crap out of me because you were in your, you know, you were in your power. You stood for you. And I was like, I want to be that, but I can't. Like, I was triggered. I was like, I want that, but it's either I wasn't ready or I didn't know how, or I was so fearful of it. Whereas now, like, I watch your lives, I'm like, that's going to be me. I'm going to be, like, obviously sharing my truth and my story on a different scale. But yeah, I now have stepped up to the plate, and I'm in that energy 100% of the time. And yeah.
Because we're equals, you know, and it's just, triggering's good. It just means that there's something that you were seeing in me that you knew was here for you.
Yeah.
And because you hadn't embodied it yet, it was sort of almost like, oh, I want that, but I don't know if I can, and da-da-da. And that's what it is, you know, if anyone else is getting triggered, because I know I trigger people, but there's triggering, which is not good, and then there's triggering, which is really good because it's evoking something inside of us because we're like, oh, I want that. And that's what I say to anyone, you know, if you look at things and go, oh, I want to have a relationship of that same quality like Lucy, or I want to be able to speak like that. The only reason you're liking it is because it exists inside of you. Yeah. It's in you already, and it's just being mirrored back to you. So I love that now you are on your path, shining your light. All these opportunities I know are coming into your life, and that's not a coincidence. It's because you are fully aligned with your soul now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 100%.
Epic.
Oh, just so my heart is just so full, but it's so open, and I'm just receiving so much.
Yes, that is the last thing we want to end on. Is before you were saying people were telling me I was a leader, people telling me all this stuff, and I experienced that too. And I was like, I'm so sick of people like saying, "Why are you single, Lucy? You're a great catch," or, you know, "You are a leader," to all this stuff too. And I was like, well, then what's the problem here? Why am I like sucking at my life?
I know.
But the thing that the key ingredient here is this is around the feminine, that you suddenly got out of the way, and now you've become a master at receiving because you are allowing yourself to be seen. You're allowing yourself to go, hey, I don't have all my shit together. I want support. And that very act of going, I deserve to be supported, that's the entrance into the feminine, the world of the feminine. That right there is surrender, to go, I haven't got all my shit together. I'm sick of all these masks. I don't have it all figured out. Can you please show me the way? That is surrender.
Yeah.
And
vulnerability. So much. Vulnerability. Oh, yes. I mean, it was all cerebral for me before. Like, I'm being vulnerable. I'm opening up. I'm sharing stories, but that's all I was doing. I was just sharing stories. I wasn't coming from my heart space. Yes. So different.
Yes. Kate, I am just in awe. Like, it's making me emotional. I'm in awe of who you are in the world now, of the people that you're impacting, of the children that you'll bring into the world, of the kind of relationship that you'll be modeling to other people on what's possible, from going from 12 years of being single to now, you know, being another conscious person in the world. Like, this is why I do what I do, because it is my belief that having a soulmate relationship is our birthright.
Yeah.
Anything else is a fucking illusion. And it just means that we're in the wrong story, or we are connecting with who we're not, or we're literally thinking we're damaged or broken because of the things that have happened to us. And there are many women that come to me that have been through incredibly traumatic situations, but I said, that is not who you are. Who you are is whole and divine and worthy. And that's what this process is to get you girls home to the woman, not the girl, to the woman that you were born to be in the world. And that's what I'm looking at right now. And that's why I'm so struck by it, because this is my vision, is to unleash as many women embodying their power and their divine feminine, so that, you know, we have a beautiful planet full of people that are connected. Women are the change makers.
We really are. And I just want to thank you so much for allowing, you know, me into the vortex, and, you know, holding space for me, and helping me with my it was that true healing transformation. And I love the mission that you have. It's just phenomenal. So thank you for that.
My pleasure. My absolute pleasure and an honor. So, I mean, if anyone wants to reach out to you, is that okay?
Oh, for sure. Like, I would be more than happy to connect with people like that. It's just, where I am now at. I want to help and, you know, impact as many lives as I can. And well, bring it on.
Already doing it. Thank you so much, Kate. Just hang back and I'll stop. Thank you so much.
No worries, Lucy. Thank you.